Hello everybody. So through this session we'll discuss our next chapter, that is If I Were You. Actually this is a play and the main character in the play is Gerard. Gerard, he used to live all alone in a cottage. So an intruder enters in that cottage stealthily, quietly, with the purpose of killing and take over his identity. So through this play, we will come to know whether he succeeded in his plan or not. So when the play opens, Gerard is standing by the table and he is making a phone call. He is of medium height and had glasses also, and talking about had worn a long suit and a great coat. So he was talking to somebody on the phone. Apart from that, his voice was also very much cultured, sophisticated. uh, he was. So he on phone he was asking that the person should call him directly and immediately also, that he is at home only, and but he did not know how much long he would stay there. So he should call him, means he should call Gerard as soon as possible, and that the person should not count on means he should not depend on that he would be at home only, and that within 10 minutes only he should call him, and then he bade him goodbye. So we did not get any idea that to whom he was talking, about what he was talking, but definitely we come to know that there was some important call only. So he put down the phone and after that he started packing the bag as he wanted to go somewhere. At that moment only there appears a man also, a stranger, this intruder, who is of the similar height, similar build only. And he had a gun also, revolver also in his hand. Stealthily he came into the room, but then accidentally he bumped into against the table, means he hit against the table, and at the sound Gerard turned round, but at the sight of the stranger intruder he did not get afraid or shocked. So he just asked, that was a surprise only, Mr., means he wanted to ask the name of the person. So we know that this intruder, he is a criminal and he had come there to kill, murder Gerard and take over his identity. His dressing up style also was so mysterious. He had worn that overcoat and a soft hat on his head, and having the revolver also in his hands. Finding that Gerard did not get afraid that he had pointed gun in towards him. So intruder, this stranger, he said that he was glad that Gerard was pleased to see him. Actually it was not that he was not pleased, he was not happy, but then also he is talking about like that only. And then he started threatening him that your happiness will not last long, and that put up your paws. Now paws used to be of animals only, and he is treating Gerard also like an animal only, abusing in a way and pointing the revolver towards him, that hands up, put your paws up. So Gerard did that, and he said that all this, whatever is happening, it is all very much melodramatic. This is not real. It is not appearing real, and it is appearing like some drama is happening there. So the intruder, stranger, the criminal, he found that Gerard is not afraid, and he said that okay, you are trying to be calm, isn't it? And then again he started threatening him that he would soon stop being smart, and that he would make him crawl on the ground. Crawl means just slide on the ground, that he will make him suffer. Definitely he wanted to say that he would kill him, But before that, he told him that he wanted to know few things from him. He wanted to get some information from him. So first of all, he wanted that, and then he started asking some questions. So the interviewer asked Gerard to sit down, and he sat himself also, telling that he was not comfortable standing and holding the revolver towards him. So as they sat down, and then the criminal, the interviewer, asked him to tell him about himself. So Gerard, we found that from the very beginning he is behaving very much normally. So as the criminals asked him to tell something, so he started in a very casual manner telling about himself. Gerard began that he would tell him his life story, and that he would tell him how as a child he was stolen by gypsies, and after that how he just found himself in that Essex cottage, in that Essex lonely cottage at the age of 32, how he reached there, that he would tell each and everything about his life story to him. So at this point we come to know that the area, American area, Essex is the area, and in Essex there is this lonely cottage where Gerard used to live, and this criminal had come with a purpose. Maybe police is after him only, and he just wanted to kill Gerard, and then he wanted to take over his identity. He wanted to live like Gerard only there. So with that purpose he had come there, and when Gerard started telling that he would tell him each and everything about his life story, so he stopped him, that he was not interested in all that, and he told him that he would ask questions and he should answer those questions directly. So interviewer, the stranger, the criminal, he started asking questions, and the very first question he asked, if he lived there all alone, the very first question. And instead of answering this question, Gerard told, or not even told, he asked him that what if he would not answer his questions. So again he became furious also a little bit, and he threatened him that he did not think Gerard wanted to get hurt, that in that case he would shoot him, he would hurt him, and he said that Gerard must not get hurt. And the criminal said that there was no point, no sense in getting hurt. So Gerard answered that he used to think that one should have the ability to avoid pain instead of just desiring to avoid the pain. And then he just asked that what his name was, name of criminal. But the criminal, the interviewer, he just avoided the question, that he should not mind his name, and he said that he liked his name better, Mr. Gerard. So he told that he liked his name because he wanted to take over his identity, and then he asked his full name, that what was his full name, what was his Christian name. So Gerard had to answer at this point, and he told that his full name was Vincent Charles Gerard. Then he asked him the second question, that if he drive a car, if he run a car, and Gerard denied that no, he did not. But then introduced our criminal, he all at once he stopped him that that was a lie, and that you are not. He told Gerard that he was not dealing with a fool, because interviewer had done his homework. He was following him from many days past, and he had seen him driving. So instead of replying him, he asked the criminal, the interviewer, that was he American only, was he the real native of America, or that was just imitation, mere copying of American English only, because the person was speaking fluently in American English. So he asked him. So the interviewer, the criminal. He pointed the gun towards him and he showed that and asked him that you have to remember and that remember that this is not toy gun and that he would hurt him without being killed him, and then in that way also he can get his answers whatever he wanted to ask. So don't be extra clever in front of him. So Gerard said that okay, he was just talking like that only, and then that he would love to help him, and then he told that he had a car and that was in the garage down, and if he want he could give him the keys also of that. Then interviewer, the criminal, asked him the another question. He was pleased that he had accepted and told him that where the car was, and then he asked him that if people used to visit him often or not. That was the next question, and Gerard told that rarely, very hardly, that people they did not take much trouble to visit him, meet him, that there are no men in the world who are known to him much, and there is nobody who used to come there except milkman, grocery man, and baker also. They used to come to drop the eatable things only, and apart from that nobody used to visit him. And that Gerard told that no one of them even so charming as you are there. So the interviewer next asked him that he was doing his homework, he was observing him, and he found that there are no trades people also, no business people also who used to come to meet him. So he should tell him about that also. So Gerard said that definitely he had done much homework before coming to his cottage about him, and he had gathered much information, but then why was he not telling about himself? Then he asked that he should tell something about himself also. Why was he behaving so modestly? Why was he behaving so shyly? So the interviewer, the killer, the criminal told that he could tell him plenty, he could tell him much of the things about himself, but that he told that one thing he should come to know, that he had brains, intelligence, and that just because of my intelligence, just because using my mind, he told that he had come there in that cottage. So Gerard told that just to enter into his cottage, it did not require much intelligence. What is so intelligent about it that he has entered into a lonely cottage? So the interviewer told that when Gerard would come to know what was his real reason behind entering into the cottage, he would be surprised. Then only he would realize how intelligent the criminal was. However, we know that he had come there to murder Gerard and then take over his identity and start living like Mr. Gerard only. But at that point then Gerard did not know about it, and then he asked him that which kind of criminal was he? Was he some specialist or not? And then the criminal, the interviewer, told him that he was a jewel robber. So Gerard was totally surprised and said that in this area of Essex and in this wild area, all around there is forest only, there is hardly any jewelry shop or jewels, so why had he come there? So our interviewer told that jewels are also very less, no jewels are there, and their cops are also not there. Cops means police is also not there. Actually he was running from police only. Police was after him and he had come there to hide himself. And then interviewer told that he could retire there, he could rest there for some time away from police. Okay, so this is our first part of our If I Were You. In our second video lecture we will finish